What's up, everybody? So how many of you out there hate your job? And I'm not talking like I hate working. I mean, nobody wants to work, right? I just like to just chill, enjoy life, all that. But I'm talking like really hate the job that you're in. So then why are you still there? My name is Matt with Elevating Yourself, and today we're going to be talking about why people stay in jobs that they hate. If this is something that you face on a daily basis, then in this video we're going to be discussing why that is the case. And then we're going to be looking at what it is that you can do to potentially put yourself into a better position. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to hate their job. They don't have to love their job, but we want to put you in a place where you can at least go into work and feel good about the things that you're doing. So then why do people stay at jobs that they hate? There are really 4 reasons that people can stay at these types of jobs. First, there is a fear of the unknown. I mean, we are creatures of habit, and change, let's be honest, change can be scary, and we are creatures of habit. And getting into a job that we're really not sure is going to be better, I mean, we think, what if it's worse? And we're in a job currently that we hate. And so if it's worse than this, my God, what does that mean? And sometimes knowing what to expect, even if it's painful, can feel safer than the uncertainty of a new job. Next is financial security. Let's face it, we all got bills to pay. We all got things that we want to buy. We do have things in our life that we are responsible for. And because of this, when we sit in a job that we know can pay our bills, then it can be tough to be thinking about, well, what if the next job I get doesn't pay as much? What if the next job I get isn't as reliable and I get laid off? Then how am I going to pay those bills? And when that starts to sink into us, we tend to think, I don't even want to risk it, because then I'm going to be put into a position where I hate my job and I don't have enough money to pay my bills. Next is a hope that things will get better. This is a really big trap that people can sometimes fall into, and you have to be careful, because a lot of times we think tomorrow is going to be a better day, or maybe it's if I get a promotion, then I'll feel better. Maybe I'll get a transfer and I'll be put into a different team and that will be better. And I always want people to be looking at the positive side of things. I don't want anybody in a negative headspace, and so I think it's great if you do that. But by doing so continually, you can put yourself into a position where you're always waiting, and you actually stay at a job that makes it more unhealthy for you. And that's the thing that I get more concerned with, is you staying at a position or a job that is more unhealthy than putting yourself into a position where you can get something that makes you happy. And finally, there's a lack of self-confidence and self-worth. If you are feeling like, hey, I'm lucky I even got this job, then it might be time for you to be thinking about what you can do to better your own self. Mental capacity, mental well-being are things that can help you along the way. And if you're feeling like you're not worth it, then I think it's a good sign that you need to make some changes, either within yourself or with your surroundings. Remember, you're in this position currently, and it doesn't mean that you have to stay in this position. You can always make a change. It might take some work, it might take some time, but I guarantee you, if you put the effort towards it, you can attain the skills necessary to put yourself into a better position. And throughout the years, society has taught us that staying at jobs is actually the normal thing to do. But I think in this day and age, it's not anymore. People are not staying at their jobs for 30 or 40 years, maybe like your parents or grandparents did, and retired at those jobs. They are looking for advancement. And there's a lot of actually thought out there that talks about how staying at a job for more than 2 years, or staying in a position without being promoted or moving into a different position for more than 2 years, is actually unhealthy. Now, this could work for some people, but if you're like me and enjoy the job that you do and want to use it to fund your dreams from the side, then maybe staying in a position isn't bad. But if I put myself into a position where I hate my job, then it makes it harder even for the dreams to come true, because you know that the next day you're gonna have to wake up to a crappy position and a crappy job. You know, and some people look at work as an identity. It's the thing that defines you. That's not the case. Now, if you're happy in the roles that you're in, if you're happy to think to yourself, you know what, I'm a repairman, I'm a plumber, I'm a doctor, that's great. But for those of you out there that may be in a situation where you're thinking to yourself, I can't believe I'm an accountant. I can't believe that's who I am. It's not who you are. It's just the job that you do. And it is okay to be able to just say, you know what, I'm here to collect a paycheck, be able to do the things that I want to do at work, and then go off and chase the dreams or chase the things that I want to do? Is it travel? Is it funding my passions like photography on the side? There are a lot of different things that people are doing on the side that bring them that joy. And when you're working on yourself in that capacity, then the job that you're sitting in right now only becomes the thing that's actually funding you. It's no different than going out and getting sponsors. Those are the people that are paying the bills for that thing that you're trying to do. And it's the same thing as work. It's paying the bills so that you can go off and make your life a better thing. So finally, let's look at how do you break free in a job that you hate? There are 3 things that you can currently do that might help you get started in thinking about what are the next steps for me. First is identifying the real reason that you're staying at this job. It is something that we want to make sure that we're closely monitoring. If you are not happy and it is not worth the stress and anxiety that it brings you, then it's important to make a change. Remember, you have to be thinking about this stuff, and is it important to me, and is it worth it long term, not in the short term. Next, what if it's better? Remember how I said before, we don't want to get into a job because we want to think to ourselves, what if it's worse? Guess what? What if it's better? It's an important thing to be thinking about, because if you look at other jobs and think to yourself, I don't know, and I don't want it to get worse. Well, if you're in that position where you're looking for another job and you've got another job, you're already showing the courage that it takes in order to find that, in order to overcome those fears that you were facing at your previous employment. And if that job also turns out to be a crappy place to be, you've already got the steps in place where you can make a change. And now, since you've got that mentality, you can make those changes that much quicker. Finally, it's just taking small steps. Look, I am not telling anybody to go out there and just quit their jobs right now. But you could be thinking about what it is that you need to be doing in order to get another job. What are the skills that you might need in order to get your next job? What is the networking that you might need to have in order to get your name out there? And then what financial planning do you need to do? Maybe the job you get into pays you a little bit less, but it has the long-term advantages of having promotions and more pay. Well, taking a step back from a pay perspective may suck at first, but you might be able to do some cuts in order to make it worthwhile. And in the end, if that's going to bring you a sense of safety, if it's going to bring you peace inside, allow you to enjoy your life even better, then I think it's the right steps that you need to take. And the great thing about this is, even if you're not able to find a job right now, you're working on skills that are going to make you much more marketable for other jobs in the future. And that's the thing, is like, it is something that could potentially take some time. And if we're using that time wisely and gaining more skills and understanding the competitive nature that's out there and understanding what are the things I have to do moving forward, then you're still putting yourself into a much better position than you did before. Thanks so much for watching today. Look, there is no right or wrong answer to the question of why people stay at their jobs that they hate. And if you find yourself in a position where maybe some of the steps that I talked about earlier don't really apply to you, then still be thinking about what is the best for you. Staying in a job that gives you anxiety and stress are not healthy. And if you're not healthy, then the things that you're doing outside of work won't ever save you. And so it's important to be thinking about that stuff early and often and make those changes and make them right away. If you haven't had a chance, do me a favor, take a look at some of the videos I've got posted. I'll link one over here. Remember, elevating yourself to the next level, it starts with a single step. Take your step today. We'll see you next time.